Planes are considered to be the safest mean of transportation, and they actually are, but a lot still has to do with the skill of the pilot. In fact, unusual situations can occur anytime, and that's when skill comes to play. It's what makes the difference between a good pilot and a great pilot. In today's video, we're looking at some of the craziest plane landings, in which pilots proved their exceptional abilities by doing incredible maneuvers to keep their aircraft safe along with all its passengers. On November 1st, 2011, a Boeing 767 belonging to Polish Airlines was just about to finish its flight from New York to Warsaw, Poland. During the flight, the aircraft had lost its hydraulic system, which, as a result, prevented the plane from deploying its landing gear. The pilots had to find a solution, and decided to perform an emergency landing on the belly of the plane. In order to reduce the potential risk of such maneuver, the plane circled around Warsaw for about half an hour to burn off as much fuel as possible. Thanks to the incredible skill of the pilots, the landing was a success, and none of the 231 people on board got injured. On July 5, 2014, a Boeing 767 flying from Moscow, Russia was preparing to land in Barcelona, Spain. Just when the plane was ready to touch down on the runway, another airliner rolled out. This could have been a disaster, but the Boeing pilots immediately noticed the danger and quickly lifted off the aircraft to avoid the collision. On September 21, 2005, an Airbus A320 made an emergency landing at Los Angeles International Airport due to a malfunctioning front nose gear. The wheel was locked at an angle, so landing in that position would have made the plane crash. The captain tried to keep the nose of the plane as high as possible in order to avoid putting too much stress into the front gear. Luckily, his skills made the operation frictionless. He managed to land without reverse thrusters or aerodynamic braking.
All right, we are watching it now, and it's coming in low and presumably slow now. It's probably crossing the 405 and approaching Sepulveda Boulevard and ultimately the airport. That's runway 25 left. That was the 405 freeway right there. We're getting close.
25 left, as Mark pointed out, the longest runway at LAX, the one they want to use for emergency landings if they can. And here it comes in now, this JetBlue flight 292 with that front nose gear pointed sideways.
Hold the nose.
Seen a lot of smoke, but so far it's still intact. The landing gear.
He's now slowing down as best he can.
End of the runway.
Mighty strong landing gear here. That's the tires burning out there.
All right.
Best of all possible scenarios.
This next story might seem to come off a movie, but it actually took place in real life in the spring of 2015. The Turkish Airlines flight from Istanbul to Nevşehir in Turkey was on approach to land when it was involved in a severe hit with an unlucky bird. Some argue it might have actually been a dragon or a dinosaur because the dent was so incredibly big. The nose of the plane was completely damaged, and the wing also had some minor damage. Despite the bird strike, the plane landed safely on the runway and none of the passengers were injured. Sometimes the weather can change in unpredictable ways, and aircrafts have to land in extreme conditions. What's fascinating is the professionalism of the pilots who managed to land a plane in such situations despite the heavy crosswinds. These situations are obviously not common. They can happen when the weather is forecasted incorrectly. There is, however, reason for concern, as in the future, it might become more difficult to predict the weather. It might seem counterintuitive at first, since technology advances in every field, but weather forecasting technologies might actually be evolving backwards. This is due to 5G wireless networks. In fact, 5G equipment transmits to radio frequencies that are perilously close to those used by satellites to gather crucial weather and climate data. If the amount of noise allowed to leak from 5G transmissions is not turned down, the signals will interfere. This would set weather forecasts back 40 years, meaning decades of technological progress would be lost, and planes might start facing these harsh conditions more often due to the weather becoming less predictable. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. We have more videos on the way. Thanks for watching!